Night. It covers the city like a black shroud over a sleeping canary's cage. The time is very late, or very early, depending upon your point of view. One thing's for sure, though. It's a time when only the most desperate dregs of animal kind are doing their dire deeds.
Come on, let's get this crappy thing over with, huh? You hear me, bunny boy? I ain't putting up with much more of this stalling.
Keep your steel wool shirt on, Pig Iron.
Listen, you runty rabbit. Don't give me that routine.
These things take time.
I'm giving you just 5 more minutes. Then the time runs out, and I make my move.
Sure. Pig Iron, Alley Cat Abra, Rubber Duck, Fastback, Yankee Poodle, allied with their long-eared leader, they are Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. Episode 12 of Mice and Menace, a tale of one rodent's revenge.
A minute. Not only is it past this little piggy's bedtime, but this posing stuff can give a fella like me a bad case of mental fatigue. Besides, I got an itch that's killing me, Whipple-Law.
Don't sweat it, Pig Iron. You just might rust solid in that place. Permanently. Anyway, I'm nearly done with this cover for that special Bat-Mouse vs. the Hog tabloid comic. Rush jobs. Sheesh. But can you do me one more small favor, big guy? Please don't call me Triple R. Somehow it sounds like Popeye the sailor dog when he's laughing. Just a few more lines, and voila! The penciling on this job is finished. I'm no Jack Kirby, but I've gotta admit, it's looking pretty darn good. Old Roger Rodney Rabbit's earned his lettuce on this assignment.
And I've earned some shut-eye at last. Not in that will, buddy.
Sleep tight, Bolt Brain, and thanks for the help. You couldn't have been better. In fact, you were a model. Hope my esteemed editor, Duck G. Ordano, appreciates this all-night endeavor. Maybe he owns stock in a coffee bean plantation. Oh well. Now to ink this sucker, and then grab a few hours sleepy time. Hey, what's where you park your brush, you big jerk? I just washed my hair. What? Who? Huh? Leaping legumes. I must be hallucinating from overwork. Hey, he's gone. Vanished. Zilch. Media Calico Comics introduces its new ad for Patreon and other links. It includes paid comics of Werecat and other projects. It also includes web comics of Ken Canary. It includes fun stickers for everyone, as well as comic dub movies and series. So be sure to go to these links and support my Patreon. Meanwhile, in the Zoo Crew's multi-mod rec room, located elsewhere in their fabulous C building. You know, Fishman, this old-time pinball machine could almost make a fella forget all about the latest video games. I mean, Pack Rat's terrific, but this machine has a function that no video game can match. Namely, with pinball you can cheat. How are you doing with that Atari setup, Timmy Joe? Ah, shoot, Rubber Duck. My reflexes are so doggone quick, I plumb burnt out the dang contraption. Looks like you'd better stick to Tiddlywinks. Say, why ain't a big-time celebrity like Allbird Rentals having a wild night on the town? Hey, I just wound up the promotional tour for my latest flick, the worst little hen house in Texas. I deserve an evening of sheer goofing off. Still, I wonder what Doggy Pond's doing tonight. Yahoo! 10,000 points! 15,000 points! Let's see. If I can get that tiny little mouse in there, maybe I'll score extra. Tiny little mouse?
Save your quarters, Stretch. I'm not exactly having a ball in here, you know.
Fastback, take a gander at this. Forget it. It's gone. Well, it's gone. What's left of my mind? Very possibly. And in the private quarters of the zoo crew's prestidigitating pussycat.
Funky.
Well, Felina, it took most of the night, but it was worth it. Your new redesigned cape is absolutely perfect.
Funky.
With near omnipotent powers like mine, I get a lot of satisfaction in doing these smaller everyday tasks without my sorcery. Anyway, it's time I learned how to sew. By the mystic mists of Miriz, it is getting late. I'd better change and turn in for the night.
Oops.
What? What's this? A pint-sized peeping Tom?
Hiya, Tabby. Excuse me, but...
The name, intruder, is Alley Cat Abra, not Tabby. And I'll listen to your excuses after Magic Wanda has rendered you helpless.
Look it, sis. I'm trying to tell you.
By the ancient spirits of Kalkine!
You gotta let me explain things to you. Eye to eye.
Of course, the fabulous Z building doesn't have a monopoly on all of Los Antelopes' late-night lunacy. Across town at the ultra-chic Bestial Bistro.
And so, Mr. Lopper, inasmuch as you are Bollywood's top superstar talent agent...
You bet your diamond-studded flea collar I am, sweetie.
And since I happen to be Bollywood's top celebrity journalist, Mr. Lopper...
Call me swiftly. Everyone else does. Unless I call them first. Hehe. Woodsy Owlin. Love your pics, especially the early funny ones. Raccoon Wedge, sweetie. Let's have lunch. Orson Welles. How are you, big guy? Adore your designer jeans.
As I was saying, swiftly, I now have exclusive permission to negotiate deals on behalf of that marvelous Yankee Poodle. Oh, yes, and the rest of the zoo crew as well.
The zoo crew! Ruva, baby. They're hot, hot, hot. What a property. I've been trying to get in with that crowd for months. First off, I want to secure the poster option on that sexy babe, Alley Cat Abra. What's the matter, Rover baby? You look like you just ate a bad piece of sushi.
Really? Let's see. Yankee Poodle, you are needed at our HQ immediately. Speak of the devil. Sorry, Swiftly, but I just remembered I've got a late interview with Farrah Foxette. Ciao, baby.
But we were talking Deal City.
What? I'm Farrah Foxette. Soon, back at the ever-fabulous Z building.
Okay, you pipsqueaker. What are you doing snooping around our high security headquarters? Believe it or not, I've been looking for you, Captain Carrot. I did run into a scrawny-looking rabbit, but I knew that he couldn't be the leader of the amazing zoo crew.
Vegas, I'm finally gonna cop some Z's and this sawed-off smart-mouth shake things up.
Oh, that was a cartoonist friend of ours. He works here sometimes. Reference material, you see.
All right, darlings, you can breathe easy. Yankee Poodle has arrived. As if we couldn't help but notice.
Good thing that scrawny cartoonist got a chance to privately nibble a few cosmic carrots. How about that, Rubber Duck? Guess you aren't having them hallucinations. I almost wish I was.
What's this? Oh, how adorable. What a cutie. But aren't you a trifle old for dolls, Captain?
Dolls! Listen, Curly Tup. I may be little, but I'm... Hold it, you two. I'm still the leader here, remember? This is a good place to start, Junior. Like, for instance, your name. Rest easy, Captain. I am one of the good guys. I call myself... Little Cheese, the Micro Mouse. I considered using the name Minnie Mouse, but I thought I could do without any copyright hassles from Wart Grizzly Productions. I hear their lawyers are tougher than any supervillain.
Wow, the whale swamp just changed size into a jumbo swamp.
Very impressive, Little Cheese. Now, how about some details? Well, Cap, the tail is a long one.
And so's the tail.
I haven't always been a super freak. Actually, I'm just a local high school student. Chester Cheese, that's me. I am Mick, that was, the star player on my school's basketball team.
Go, Chet, go.
Yeah, Chet. I was the shortest center that Bollywood High's hoopsters ever had. But what I lacked in size... I more than made up in points, but no matter how loud the crowd cheered, I was only hearing one voice.
Way to go, son.
My Pops. Pop, Dr. Adam Cheese, never missed a game. He was my biggest fan, even though, being a typical absent-minded lab rat, he kept yelling for me to get a touchdown. Pop was doing research work for the government, mostly astrophysics stuff, specializing in the moon. That guy was one sharp American cheese.
Let's see. The vector of the capsule's trajectory would be...
Speaking of cheese, remember the chunk of cheese the astronauts discovered up there? The lunar longhorn, they called it. Well, that was just one of Pops's hush-hush research projects. On the other paw, I was just the opposite of Pop. While he'd be splitting atoms, I'd be splitting from physics class. But with Mom gone, since I was a little kid, he always tried to spend some time with me.
Jeff, how touching.
I guess Pops' brains did have some effect on me, 'cause even though I never could pass my chem exam, I started reading more, especially sci-fi, fantasy, even comics. When I wasn't dribbling down the courts, I spent my time imagining I was Fluke Flywalker, Mr. Spot, or the Batmouse. Anyway, things were looking pretty good until a few weeks ago. I was getting out of basketball practice when...
Well, Cleon, think we're ready for the big playoffs?
You know my main mouse. I'm not called the Dr. J-Bird of Bollywood High for nothing. And you, why?
Oh, look, Shadow. It's that cute Chester Cheese. Hi, Chet.
There he is. It was the end of the day, and soon I was alone in the hallway. Well, almost alone. Hey, Cat, ain't that the Chester Cheese? The hotshot round ball center? Wait up, Chat boy.
Huh?
Me and my pal here's real big fans of yours, Chat boy. Ain't that right, Cat?
Yeah, fans. Gee, fellas, I really don't have time to talk right now. You see, I've got to go meet my pop and...
My moniker's Earl, Mad Dog Earl, and this here my associate, Get Gosling.
Terrific! Listen, guys, I really gotta split.
You didn't hear us right, Shorty. We got something really important to discuss with you. It's the boss. He's gotta meet you now.
Read these lips, Gat. I said later.
Got your full attention now, Chat boy? I thought so.
We's gonna go see the boss now, kid. Like I said, he's a real big fan of yours.
Well, seeing as how he's such a big fan and all...
So, this pair of walking veggies piled me into a block-long grey Cadillac. And before the booties in my skull stopped tweeting, I realized we'd motored all the way downtown. Like it or not, I was gonna meet this big fan of mine.
Nice place he got here.
And I was about to find out just how big a fan this boss really was.
Hello, Chester. Hi. Old Mad Dog and Gad here say you're a big basketball fan. The biggest. Am I right, boys?
Yeah, boss.
Chester, you may call me Fatkat. I do everything in a big way. I play games in a big way. Wonderful! What do you got? A 50-foot Parcheesi board? Look it, I don't want to seem rude, but first the Goon Sisters here roughed me up, then dragged me across town, and now... Chester, I enjoy placing wagers on games. Big wagers. Come on, quit playing games with me. What's your point, huh? My point being, Chester, is your points. Rather, your basketball team's points. It is the #1 team in the city. You are your team's #1 player. Soon you will be playing the big playoff game. You will lose big. I, on the other part, will win big. What? Me throw the big game? You gotta be kidding! On the contrary, Chester, I'm serious. Dead serious. You see, I have placed a big wager on that game, but against a Bollywood team. Quite a long shot, actually. Speaking of shots, Fat Cat, here's the one I owe you. Consider yourself repaid in full, you big hairball!
Boss, are you okay?
You want I should plug that rat brat, boss? Right between them big ears?
Desist, you morons! Let the little rodent go. He'll soon learn he's barely begun to playing my cat and mouse game. Ugh. Mad Dog, fetch me my catnip. Medicinal strength. See you at our victory party, Fatkat. Don't worry, I'll know you. You'll be the one wearing the barrel.
Somehow I found my way out of that urban fortress. I hightailed it back across town, moving like a squad of guards were dogging me on a 20-mile layup shot. I had to get home, tell Pop and the police about the fix going down. Finally, Pop had his own lab out back of our little cottage. But when I got there, the door was, for once, unlocked. I flew in.
Pop, I gotta talk to you. You see, Pop? Pop? Ahem. What?
When I finally came to, I found I had been dragged into Pop's high security vault/lab.
Holy cow! Pop, I gotta get...
That's a joke. The so-called impregnable retreat had been ransacked. It was also locked tighter than Bigfoot's sneakers from the outside. I must have been in that oversized mousetrap for a while. I was starting to get hungry. I scrounged around and found a chunk of glowing green cheese. It didn't taste so bad, all things considered, but after a couple of nibbles, total weirdness. Imagine altered steaks combined with malice and blunderland, and you'll see where my head was at.
I'll never trust leftovers again.
I started getting smaller and smaller, and this time I woke up outside the vault/lab, feeling okay. Thing was, the vault door was still locked. That bugged me, but it was the least of my worries. The cops said that poor Pop must have walked in on some industrial thieves, caught in the act, and that's when, whatever, I wasn't much help. I moved in with my Aunt Cheetah and tried hard not to fall apart. Then came the big playoff game. The teams were really up for it, and I was even starting to ignore my own problems. But when I walked out onto that finale court...
Hey, Jet Boy. Greetings from the boss, punk.
None other than Mad Dog Girl and Cat Gosling. Fatkat still expected me to throw the game, but sent out his putrid persuaders anyway. Tough. I planned on winning this one, if only for my pop. Fatkat was right. The stakes on this game were getting bigger by the minute. It was near the end of the third quarter. Us Bollywood Fana were leading by 35 points. Number 7 shot me a sudden pass for an easy layup. Too bad I wasn't there to receive it.
Hey!
Somehow, I'd instantly shrunk down to all of 4 inches tall, and this time I knew I wasn't dreaming. It all happened so fast, no one really saw what was going on. I nearly got accidentally stumped by my own teammates. Finally, I made it back to the locker room. My size back to normal, but...
Great game, Jet Boy. Ha ha!
Oh yeah, thanks to my impromptu vanishing act, we lost the game by default.
Between yous and your old man, you're really feeding the kitty.
What?
Uh-oh. That's when it finally hit me. Fatkat was behind my pup's murder. He had to be. My father was his real target for techno-piracy. Making buck on high school sports was just a big buck's hobby to Fatkat. Jeez, everything's just a game to that second-rate Squidney Mean Street. Meanwhile, I lose my friends, my teammates, my father.
Paw well, Pipsqueak.
Calm yourself, Chester. You're among friends here. Speak for yourself, darling. Personally, I don't trust anyone with an origin story longer than my own.
Keep your tights on, lady. I'm almost finished. As for these shrinking powers of mine, well, that crazy green cheese I ate turned out to be a sample chunk of lunar longhorn, the stuff they found on the moon. When eaten, it gives me mental control over all my body's molecules. By compacting them, I can reduce my size while retaining my full strength. One day, after reading a Batmouse comic book, I decided to develop my powers. I started a tiny training regimen, and before long, I was ready to assume the identity of Little Cheese, the Micro Mouse.
Listen, Junior, this is life, not some funny book. Becoming a superhero is just begging to get hype.
You've seen what they did to your father, Chester. Leave the crime fighting to the professionals.
Hey, I'm not looking for glory, or revenge for that matter. I just want some justice. Fatcat's not stupid, and his lawyers and accountants are even tougher than his goonzels legally. He's untouchable. But if I get my paws on evidence, Fatcat's secret files and stuff. Gotcha, Little Cheese. Well, what do you say, Zoo Crew? Wanna see if there is more than one way to skin a fat cat?
Really, Captain? That's disgusting.
Oops, sorry, Abra. You know, gang, this is gonna be risky. If any of us is caught before we can get the goods on Fatkat, the police and his lawyers will make Dr. Hoot seem like a lovebird by comparison. Here's what we'll do.
"52nd floor. Everyone out for small appliances, dry goods, lingerie, crime bosses. Watch your step, please."
Just watch your step, show off. Unlike you, I don't happen to bounce when I hit bottom. And so, under cover of darkness, the flexible fowl and the teensy titan begin their stealthy infiltration of Fatcat's criminal headquarters. Moody, huh?
Not getting nervous, are you?
Nah. Hey, I think this is his office here.
There's the pudgy puss.
Looks like he's planning something. Sure wish we could hear what he's up to. Soon!
How's this, Little Cheese?
Not bad. You can squeeze yourself into places I thought only I could fit.
Boys, before we discuss the implementation of the latest shipment of prototypes,
This sounds juicy.
would one of you turn up the air conditioning? It's rather stuffy in here.
Oh no!
Who the?
Duck, boss!
Why, so it is, Mad Dog. More specifically, Rubber Duck. At least he didn't recognize Chester. Tell me, what was a nice duck like you doing in a duct like this? And who's this diminutive do-gooder? One of your zoo crew teammates, no doubt. Secure our guests, boys.
Right, boss. Hey, Cat, does this little mouse look somehow familiar to you?
No.
How's that? I knew my Cub Sprouts merit badge in knot tying would come in handy someday.
It's lucky for us you don't do macrame. Droll rubber duck. Actually, I was thinking of saving you for a game of cat's cradle. You okay, little cheese?
I guess so. But I sure don't know how we're getting out of this. They've got me trussed up so tight that even if I could bust loose...
It'd leave me with a permanent sore throat. Oh well. We've been gone quite a while. I'll bet my zoo crew cronies are worrying about our rescue right now.
Really, darlings? The litter inconvenience of it all. Standing vigil while Bird and some teenage twerp traipse around playing Mission Implausible.
They are taking their time, aren't they? Up to it, gang! Let's check out the sordid situation via the zoo cruiser!
I'm right ahead of you, Captain.
Oh, come on, guys. Wait up.
And before you can say Jack Rabbitson, the costumed critters are rocketing across the pre-dawn sky of urban Los Angeles.
That place matches the Minnie Mouse's description.
It makes the Z building look like a lane, too.
I set the autopilot. It'll silently hover till we're done here.
Gotta be quiet. Snigger, whatever happened to the director plot?
Pick iron. Look up for the...
Well, gentlemen, I'm still awaiting an explanation. I realize, Rubber Duck, that you do have a slight lump in your throat. Nonetheless, it is imperative for you to tell me.
Skylight.
You gotta admit, you can't get much more direct than this.
Egad, Gat, deal with this intruder immediately. Fill him full of lead in your vernacular.
Looks like somebody beat us to that, boss.
Here comes the credit cavalry, right on schedule.
Kinda chooks her up, huh?
Shoot a mile, Rubber Duck. Y'all look a mite strung out.
Captain, Fatkat and his thugs are escaping.
Damn cheap building materials.
Here, I've got to take a look around. Solo.
Right! I must distract them for the knots. I know.
Hey, did any of you see where Little Cheese went?
Not me, Camp, but I sure see what's coming. Robots!
Klebon, protect us! The government's space drones! Reprogrammed to attack!
Alright, action!
The valiant varmints defend themselves with agility, brute strength, ancient sorcery, biomagnetic force, red hot super friction, and resilient restraint. What a team!
That was a quick workout. Dramatic, too.
Need any spare parts, Pig Iron?
Don't be so smug, group. If those robot prototypes are typical of the stolen technology Fatkat's got at his disposal,
I'd say you have your paws full, heroes. Those metal drones represented but one out of scores of space-age prototypes I've recently acquired.
Don't you mean stolen, Fatso? You know, like swiped, ripped off, heisted, but acquired? Come on!
You wish to argue semantics, do you? Very well. I suggest you ponder this electronic belt device. True to its name, it can instantly transform me into a cat of nine tails.
You can skip the futuristic fashion show, anchovy breath. We've seen enough of your murder machines to last all 9 of Alley Cat Abra's lifetimes.
Ah, but you've never seen anything like this little gizmo. With its 9 fully articulated appendages, it not only slices, chops, steams, purees, and juliennes, it deep fries too.
Captain!
Zakamas, that wacky contraption's electrified.
Come on, y'all. Let's give him what for. I don't mean to be a punny pooper gang, but Fireface's gadget there still outnumbers us, tail-wise 9-5. So, what does a Jane Fonda movie guy do with... Rise and shine, Zoo Crew.
I don't know anything about shining, but this body's definitely having a hard time rising. What gives anyway?
Your sudden lethargy is far from surprising, considering the fact that you're all helplessly bound by localized artificial gravitational force. 3 times stronger than that of the Earth itself.
Yeah? How come you ain't feeling any strain, Lotto?
It, must be that pressure suit he's wearing.
He must have got tired, chasing his tails, huh?
The young lady is quite correct, you boorish boar. This exosuit emanates an anti-gravitational field to compensate the incredible pressures here in my gravity chamber. Both fields are regulated by my stooges, associates in that control booth.
You see, Cat? I told you the boss offers a dynamite trainee program.
On my instructions, they're slowly increasing the gravity in this chamber. Oh, I see you've already noticed that fact. To think in the old days we'd be doing this with such crudities as submachine guns and cement overshoes. And now, I don't know what I'd do without these small conveniences. Wouldn't you agree? Captain Squash, Alley Splat Abra, Flatback, Yankee Puddle, Pig Ironed, Ruptured Duck. Strange, I thought I'd counted 7 super pests.
Don't let your quarry drive you up the wall, Fatkat, 'cause the answer's in the wall.
Just as I recall, the control booth is shielded against all artificial gravity. I ought to know. After all, my pub helped design the thing a few years ago. All right, you two, move away from that panel.
Hey, it's what's his name? You know, the Super Squirt.
Let me get him, Mad Dog.
The name's Little Cheese, the Micro Mouse. It's a snap to remember, boys. You just gotta use your hands. The old double dribble never felt this good. Here's what I'm looking for. And since Fatkat's exosuit operates on a different circuit, it'll now be overcompensated against... who cares anyway? Let me just see the results. Wow! Phew! Now I know what the fruit at the bottom of the bowl feels like. Wait a second. The heavy gravity's been shut off. Which one of you heroes saved the day? And what is Fatkat doing up there?
Don't ask me, Cap. I just can't handle them heavy subjects.
Fastback, Fatkat. It's lonely at the top.
Let's rattle, make a ramble back.
What's wrong, fella? You gotta calm down, mellow out, you know, lighten up.
Looky here, folks. I figure I've located our little old rescuer.
Little cheese. Thank Calcon you're safe.
Cut it out, gang.
Mere hours later, the blazing sun beats down from a rusty sky, heating the acrid air, which in turn burns the lungs of 2 million desperate commuters. And a bleary-eyed zoo crew greets the dawn.
Ooh, another sampling beautiful Los Angeles day.
Whatever you say, Rolva. Native Californians. Yeesh. Looks like the incriminating evidence we dug up is gonna keep Fatkat and his mob behind bars for life.
I gotta admit, that Will Cheese fellas make one heck of an addition to the zoo crew. Let's throw them in, 'cause that'd be a great excuse to party.
I don't know, Bolt Britches. I mean, about Little Cheese. Chester. He's been through a lot lately.
Let's live it up, Cappy. Like the bill ad says, and now it's swallow time.
He needs time to sort things out for himself. By himself.
Hey, a guy's gotta have somebody to yak with.
You know, Pig Iron, I've got a feeling Chester's talking with that someone right now.
Hiya, Pup. I want to tell you about all the changes I've been going through, Pup. I've shrunk. And maybe I've grown a little too.